Well, good afternoon and welcome to Great Faith Christian Center. I am Pastor Parker. We have been covering the Passion of Christ, and today is Holy Saturday. Holy Saturday. So, what was going on today? Well, let's read a few scriptures, and I'm going to tell you today, Saturday, Holy Saturday. And so, Jesus' body rested in the tomb on Holy Saturday, fulfilling the prophecy of Isaiah 53:9, which says, he was assigned a grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death, though he had done no violence, nor was any deceit in his mouth. And so preparations were made for Jesus's body and placement in the tomb when preparations for the Sabbath begin. And we can find it in Luke 23, verses 55, 56. And it said, the woman who had come with Jesus from Galilee followed Joseph and saw the tomb and how his body was laid in it. And then they went home and prepared spices and perfumes, but they rested on the Sabbath in obedience to the commandment. So Holy Saturday is a time for us to lean into being present with the Lord, placing our own agendas at the door and coming before him to simply be with him. You know, the Lord desires a relationship with us, and a requirement of a relationship is time together. So Holy Saturday is a great day, not to ask for anything, but to simply spend time within the Spirit of the Lord. Now, Holy Saturday is the name given to the day between Good Friday and Resurrection Sunday. You know, some Christians recognize Holy Saturday, the seventh day of the Holy Week, as the day on which Jesus rested from his work of providing salvation. As Jesus died, he called out, "It is finished," and there was no further price to pay. Sin had been atoned. So after his crucifixion, Jesus was laid in a nearby tomb, and his body remained there the entirety of Holy Saturday, which you can find in Matthew 27, 59 through 60, Mark 15, 46, Luke 23, 53, 54, and John 19, 39, 42. You can read those at your leisure. And so let's read Matthew 27, 62, 61. And it says, the next day, that is after the day of preparation, the chief priests and the Pharisees gathered before Pilate and said, "Sir, we remember how that Jesus said while he was still alive, after 3 days I will rise. Therefore, order the tomb to be made secure until the third day, lest his disciples go and steal him away and tell the people he has risen from the dead. And the last fraud will be worse than the first." So Pilate said to them, "You have a guard of soldiers. Go make it as secure as you can." So they went and made the tomb secure by sealing the tomb and setting a guard. So after sundown on Friday, the day of preparation, the chief priests and Pharisees visited Pontius Pilate, which we just read. They asked Pilate for a guard for Jesus' tomb. They remembered Jesus saying he would rise in 3 days, and they wanted to do everything they could to prevent that. So as we know, the Roman guards were inadequate to prevent the resurrection. And the woman who returned to the tomb Sunday morning found it empty. The Lord had risen. Holy Saturday. Wow, this is what happened today. Let me give you a couple other things that had happened also. So if Christ had never been raised, you know, our faith is futile, and we are still in our sins. But we know on tomorrow he rose from the dead. He rose from the grave. Let me say it that way. So the disciples had scattered when Jesus was arrested. That's Mark 14:50. And they spent this Saturday hiding for fear of also being arrested, which is John 20:19. So the day between Christ's crucifixion and his resurrection would have been a time of grief and shock as the stunned disciples tried to understand the murder of Jesus, the death of Jesus. So the betrayal of Judas and the dashing of their hopes. But we know what happens tomorrow. So you need to join us tomorrow as we talk about the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And what a day that is. Wow. Wow. Wait till tomorrow. I'm so excited. God bless you, and thank you for joining me on this Saturday. Have a blessed day. See you tomorrow.